Long before coins jingled in pockets, the people of Estonia traded using a system of barter. They would exchange goods they had, like grain, animal furs, or amber for things they needed, such as tools or salt. This system worked well for local communities, but became complicated for long-distance trade. To solve this, a new form of currency appeared, Hacksilver. This wasn't a coin, but rather pieces of silver jewelry, bars, or even foreign coins that were cut up. The value of Hacksilver was determined purely by its weight and the purity of the silver. Merchants would carry small scales to weigh the pieces during transactions, making trade fairer and more standardized across different regions. The Viking Age, from around the 8th to the 11th century, was a time of great change for trade in the Baltic region. Estonia's strategic location on major trade routes brought it into contact with many different cultures. As a result, foreign coins began to arrive on its shores. The first coins to appear in significant numbers were Islamic silver dirhams from the Abbasid Caliphate. These coins traveled thousands of kilometers along river routes, brought by traders and raiders. Huge numbers of these coins have been found in Estonia in what are called coin hoards, collections of treasure buried for safekeeping. These hoards tell us that Estonia was an important link in the trade network connecting the East with Northern Europe. Following the Islamic dirhams, European coins started to become more common. German pfennigs, Anglo-Saxon pennies, and Scandinavian coins began to circulate alongside the Hacksilver. These coins were often treated just like Hacksilver, valued for their silver content and sometimes cut into smaller pieces. The variety of coins found in archaeological digs shows just how connected Estonia was to the wider world even 1,000 years ago. People did not necessarily care about the king or ruler pictured on the coin. They cared about the quality and weight of the silver it was made from. This period marked a slow transition from valuing raw material to accepting standardized coins as a medium of exchange. The discovery of coin hoards provides invaluable information for historians and archaeologists. These buried treasures are like time capsules, showing us exactly which coins were in use at a specific time and place. Some of the largest Viking Age hoards in all of Europe have been unearthed in Estonia. These finds confirm that the region was not an isolated backwater, but a prosperous and active participant in international commerce. The silver tells a story of wealth, danger, and extensive connections, painting a vivid picture of life in Estonia long before its own national coins were ever imagined. The journey from barter to using pieces of silver was a crucial first step toward a modern monetary system. During the medieval period, Estonia came under the influence of powerful foreign rulers, and its currency reflected this. After the Northern Crusades in the 13th century, German knights and merchants established cities like Tallinn and Tartu. These cities joined the Hanseatic League, a powerful commercial and defensive confederation of merchant guilds and market towns in Northern Europe. As a result, coins from Hanseatic cities, such as Lübeck, became the dominant currency. However, local Livonian coins, minted in Tallinn and Tartu by the Teutonic Order and local bishops, also circulated widely. These coins, called artigs and shillings, were the first to be minted on Estonian soil, though they were not technically Estonian national coins. One interesting fact from this era is the absence of a single powerful local mint controlled by a central Estonian authority. The reason for this was political fragmentation. The land was divided between different rulers, including the Danish king, the Livonian order, and various bishoprics. Each authority had the right to mint its own coins, but none was powerful enough to create a unified currency for the entire region. This meant that a confusing mix of different coins was used in daily life. A merchant in Tallinn might have to deal with coins from Riga, Visby, and even far-off German cities, constantly calculating exchange rates between them. This complexity highlights the decentralized nature of power in medieval Livonia. In the 16th and 17th centuries, political control over Estonia shifted to Sweden. The Swedish Empire introduced its own currency, and coins like the silver riksdollar and copper röre became common. The Swedish authorities tried to standardize the monetary system, but local and other foreign coins continued to circulate alongside the official Swedish ones. This period saw the mints in Tallinn and Narva striking coins under Swedish rule, bearing the emblems of Swedish kings. These coins were used for paying soldiers, funding administrative costs, and facilitating trade within the expanding Swedish Empire. For the average person, it was another change of currency, with new coins to learn and use for buying and selling goods. After the Great Northern War in the early 18th century, Estonia was incorporated into the Russian Empire, a change that would last for 2 centuries. This political shift brought another major monetary change. Russian coins, such as the silver ruble and the copper kopeck, gradually replaced the Swedish currency. By the 19th century, the Russian imperial currency was the only legal tender in Estonia. The transition was slow, as people were often hesitant to give up the familiar coins they were used to. However, the centralized power of the Russian state eventually ensured that its currency dominated all aspects of economic life, from paying taxes to shopping at the local market, paving the way for a more unified monetary system. Following the turmoil of World War I and the collapse of the Russian Empire, Estonia declared its independence on February 24, 1918. A new nation needed its own currency to establish economic sovereignty and break from its past. The first Estonian national currency was the mark, or marka, introduced in 1919. Initially, due to a severe shortage of metal and the chaos of the Estonian War of Independence, only paper banknotes were issued. These early notes were simple in design and printed quickly to meet the urgent needs of the fledgling state. The mark was an emergency currency, created to stabilize the economy and replace the various foreign monies still in circulation, including Russian rubles and German ostrubles. The Estonian mark suffered from severe inflation in the years after the war, a common problem for many new countries in Europe at the time. To create a more stable economic foundation, the government decided to carry out a currency reform. In 1928, a new currency, the kroon, was introduced. The name kroon, which means crown, was inspired by the Scandinavian currencies and symbolized a connection to Western and Northern Europe rather than the East. 1 kroon was made equal to 100 old marks. This reform was a crucial step in building confidence in the Estonian economy both at home and abroad. The kroon was pegged to the British pound sterling, which provided it with stability. The first kroon coins were issued in 1928, finally giving Estonians their own national coinage. These coins were designed to reflect the new nation's identity and pride. The first series included bronze, nickel bronze, and silver coins. The denominations were Media Group, 1 centi coin from first Estonian issue, close-up of small denomination Estonian Coinage. Stock would distribute, wine, equally, 1 centi, 2 centi, 5 centi, 10 centi, 25 centi, 50 centi, 1 kroon, and 2 kroony coins. The designs were simple yet powerful. The bronze coins featured the national coat of arms, which consists of 3 blue lions on a golden shield. This symbol has historical roots stretching back to the 13th century and represented Estonia's claim to its long and rich history. The higher-value silver coins showcased distinctively Estonian motifs. The 1 kroon coin, for example, depicted an ancient Viking-style ship, celebrating Estonia's long maritime heritage and its historical connections through sea trade. The 2 krooni coin featured Toompea Castle in Tallinn, the seat of Estonia's government, symbolizing the nation's newly won sovereignty and political independence. The choice of metals, bronze for lower values and silver for the kroon coins, was practical but also symbolic, giving a sense of worth and permanence to the new currency. For the first time, the people of Estonia could hold in their hands coins that were truly their own, representing their culture, history, and aspirations as a free nation. So, Estonia's first period of independence and its national currency came to an abrupt end back in 1940. The Soviet Union, you see, occupied Estonia and forcibly incorporated it into the USSR. One of the first acts of the new Soviet regime, well, it was to abolish Estonian institutions, including its monetary system. The kroon was replaced by the Soviet ruble. For a short transitional period, both currencies were allowed to circulate, but the exchange rate was artificially set to devalue the kroon, effectively wiping out people's savings. By March 1941, the kroon was declared illegal, and the ruble became the sole currency. This monetary change, it was a powerful symbol of the loss of national sovereignty. For the next 50 years, Estonians used Soviet rubles. The coins and banknotes, they featured Russian text, the hammer and sickle, and portraits of Vladimir Lenin. All traces of Estonia's national identity were removed from its money. The designs were uniform across the entire Soviet Union, from the Baltic Sea to the Pacific Ocean, reinforcing the message of a single, centralized state controlled from Moscow. The quality and design of Soviet coins were purely functional, lacking the cultural and historical symbolism that had been so important for the first Estonian kroon. For generations of Estonians, the ruble was a daily reminder of foreign occupation and the suppression of their national culture. But then, the winds of change began to blow in the late 1980s with the Singing Revolution, a peaceful movement for the restoration of independence. After Estonia officially restored its full independence in August 1991, re-establishing its own currency was a top priority. It was seen as a critical step toward economic independence from Moscow and a powerful symbol of renewed statehood. In June 1992, Estonia undertook a bold currency reform, reintroducing the kroon and replacing the rapidly inflating Soviet ruble. Every resident was able to exchange a limited amount of rubles for new kroons at a favorable rate, while the rest of their ruble savings became nearly worthless overnight. This decisive move helped to curb inflation and stabilize the economy. The second series of kroon coins, introduced in 1992, once again featured the three lions from the national coat of arms, directly linking the new currency to the republic of the pre-war era. The coins were issued in denominations of 5, 10, 20, and 50 centi, as well as 1 and 5 krooni. The designs, they were modern and clean, created by artists Arseny Mulder and Ants Raud. Unlike the first kroon, which had included silver coins, the new coins were made from more modern and affordable alloys, like aluminum bronze and copper nickel. The reintroduction of the kroon was a moment of immense national pride, symbolizing a definitive break from the Soviet past and the beginning of a new chapter for Estonia as a sovereign European nation. Estonia's journey toward deeper integration with Europe, well, it culminated in its decision to adopt the euro. After joining the European Union in 2004, the country worked diligently to meet the strict economic criteria required for euro adoption. The Estonian kroon had been pegged to the German mark since its reintroduction, which later made its transition to being pegged to the euro a smooth process. On January 1, 2011, Estonia became the 17th member of the Eurozone, and the euro replaced the kroon as the country's official currency. This change marked another major milestone in Estonia's history, symbolizing its full return to the family of European nations and cementing its place in the modern global economy. Like all Eurozone countries, Estonian euro coins have a common side, which is the same across all member states, showing a map of Europe and the coin's value. The other side, known as the national side, is unique to each country. Estonia held a public competition to choose the design for its national side. The winning design, created by artist Lembit Loomas, was chosen by the Estonian people through a telephone vote. The design is simple and elegant. It features a single image for all 8 denominations, from the 1-cent coin to the 2-euro coin. The image is a silhouette map of Estonia, accompanied by the word Eesti and the year of issuance. The adoption of the euro marked the end of the Estonian kroon's relatively short but historically significant life. However, the legacy of Estonia's coinage continues to fascinate historians and collectors. Old Estonian coins, especially the silver kroons from the First Republic and the first post-Soviet issues, are popular among numismatists. They are not just pieces of metal. They are historical artifacts that tell the story of a nation's struggle for independence, its cultural identity, and its economic development. Coin hoards discovered from different eras continue to provide new insights into Estonia's past, revealing trade routes, economic conditions, and moments of crisis when people buried their wealth for safety. In summary, Estonia's coinage journey is a mirror of its national history. It began with the simple exchange of goods and silver, followed by centuries of using the coins of foreign rulers from Germany, Sweden, and Russia. The 20th century saw the proud birth of its own national currency, the kroon, its tragic replacement by the Soviet ruble, and its triumphant return. Finally, the adoption of the euro in the 21st century represents Estonia's modern identity as a confident and integrated European state. Each coin, from ancient dirhams and medieval shillings to the modern euro, tells a piece of the remarkable story of the Estonian people and their enduring place in Europe.